This is a textbook example of just because something looks good on paper doesn't mean it's going to work in the field. What's going on, Gideon's Tactical crew? Hope you guys are well. I have a heck of a video here today for you. I have here in my hand the 704 Gear Baron. Now, at first glance, you can see right away who they are taking a lot of inspiration from: the iconic and legendary GERBER strong arm, right? I mean, it's very obvious that they're playing off of those lines and then changing a few things there. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the strong arm in its own right has been and will, I believe, for the foreseeable future, especially with the recent upgrade in MAGNACUT, be an excellent field knife. A great option and an insane value with the MAGNACUT, not so much with the 420 anymore, but definitely with this MAGNACUT, currently still under $200, which is just wild. So when I saw this blade, I was really intrigued because I saw some posts online and some people talking it up and saying, hey, it's really working for me. And so I dug in a little bit. I paid under 50 bucks for this, and it's sporting Sandvik 14C 28N steel, got full tank construction, G10 handles with a couple different variations, and a Kydex sheath. I mean, look at this. It has like carbon fiber overlay and excellent silent tension, good thumb ramp placement for quick execution, a rotating belt clip that is ambidextrous, and a drainage hole. So under $50 on paper, this should just be like so freaking awesome. And it is in so many ways, but the hang up for me is just a non-starter. It's easily rectified, and I hope they give us like a 2.0 Gen 2. Some companies are willing to do that. We'll see. So as we get to work with this 4.5-inch blade, mid saber grind, another great aspect, 0.15 and some change, so 5/32. So that means that's a little bit thinner than the strong arm. So even though it has similar grind geometry, it actually is going to, in most categories, slice better. That's my experience as I started going through it. Rubber, man-made material, this is designed as like a field knife, a hard use knife, and then use it for some camp chores if you need to, a budget go bag, offering, that type of thing. So get to work with it. I mean, it's just blasting through stuff, cutting like crazy. Cut pretty similar on the manila rope test. Had to do a few sawing back and forth like on the GERBER strong arm, but that's what you're gonna see with most combat utility, field knives, whatever you want. Knives with higher, thinner grinds will slice better, less sawing. Just a data point when you're kind of considering your blades. This has a 90-degree spine right there that should easily be able to scrape stuff. I have no HRC data. There's very minimal data online. This is a Chinese-made knife. It seems like kind of a small company. So, I mean, I'm just trusting what it says. It seems to be holding up well, especially when I started to slam on this through some crazy knotted wood. This thing is nasty, nasty, nasty pine. Oh, right through a knot. I mean, the edge is holding up really well. From here forward, so far, zero complaints. And after that, was even able to get some feather sticks done. I mean, does that pretty good. So we got excellent blade performance. We got a good Kydex sheath. So what could be the problem here? It's the handle, dude. And if you're into knives, you already know what I'm about to say. And I'm so glad I was able to buy it to unpack and show you guys where the hang up is. And that was due in part to the support from our Patreon members. We have an awesome group of Patreon supporters. I'm gonna have a link popping up over to my Patreon page. It's in the description box below as well. Their support monthly allows me to buy tools like this to be able to test and show you guys what it's capable of, what it's limited in. And so if you wanna help fuel the content here at Gideon's Tactical, I invite you to take a look, check it out, and subscribe. Become a supporter over there. You get behind the scenes content every week, exclusive videos, and you know that your contributions are helping me pick up certain pieces of gear, showing you what works and what doesn't. So just quick shout out to our Patreon crew. You guys are amazing, and I invite you to join and be a part. Now, the G10 handles, I got the tan version. There's a black version as well currently. And you got these cool kind of orange collars. You got Torx screws, 2 of them, and you got a glass breaker. And what I love is the size. I mean, it's 5 inches from guard to bird beak, and it really, you know, like keeps me in when I was doing those piercing moves, you know, things like that. I am getting some shifting. I'll have to bolt these down a little bit. They weren't like perfectly symmetrical. And again, it just really fills out the hand in the sense of its length. And I hope, I like to see that. I mean, it's definitely significantly longer than the strong arm. You can just see there. Even though the blade is actually a little bit shorter, the handle is actually longer, and I like that. I like that a lot, especially with my large size handiolas. Okay, it's this, dude, this is like holding on to a masonry brick. These shoulders, look at how flat that is. I mean, my old school Rat 5s, and like think of those generation of knives, are more comfortable and ergonomic because the shoulders at least were a little bit more rounded than what this is. This is so abrupt on the shoulder within like 2 minutes of getting it and initially working with it. The boys and I were hanging out before all this, you know, and doing a campfire, and I was like, oh, sweet, I'm looking forward to that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so uncomfortable. This is not ergonomic, and was creating hot spots all over the place. This is so uncomfortable right now. Dude, there's like a real pink hot spot, like right there, and then down here on like your 3 main leverage points. It is just not comfortable. And even though the Gerber Strong Arm is a little bit narrower, this thing, I can grip all day, use it for the type of work that is intended to be used. It's not a bushcraft knife, right? That's what a Mora or some other, you know, heli or something like that would be better for like an hour of bushcraft. But for a tactical utility knife that can do some wood work, the Gerber Strong Arm's ergonomics are far superior to this currently in its current format because those shoulders are just so squared off and basically a non-starter. It's a non-starter. It doesn't matter that it's like sub 50 bucks. I cannot use it in its current configuration. Now, because it's so inexpensive, if you want to get into making your own handles, this would be a great knife to do because you just unbolt it. You do pretty simple dimensions. You don't have all these crazy, you know, lines and stuff. So you could arguably do your own handles if you wanted to get into that or give that a shot. You could definitely like do what you need to do respirators and stuff, but you could, because G10, you know, you don't want to be breathing that, but you could really round with some, maybe a sander, a belt sander, something like that. You could probably knock off the shoulders enough to where it works. But in a standard configuration, no way. No way would I want to use this for more than about 30 seconds before I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this knife. Don't want to grip it. So it's a super simple fix. If they just give us way more contouring, like on the strong arm, you can see how well these shoulders drop. And if they just refashion these handles, you know, and just contour the heck out of all 4 shoulders, game over, dude. I mean, this is a phenomenal option, and I would say, unless you want American MAGNACUT, which will be superior to the Sandvik, you know, if you were like, well, I've been looking at the, you know, strong arm, you know, 420, I'd be like, bro, go buy this Baron 704. But as it currently stands, until there's a redux, no. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full and definitely would not be a tool that I could personally, me and my mileage, recommend at this point in time. But if they come up with a new version, I would love to test it out and give it a spin. But there it is, guys. Just because something, and this is the I don't know. This is something that I see a lot of. You know, people are like, well, I can just buy, like, there's so many good $50 knives, there's so many good $100 knives. And there's nothing, you are correct. There are a lot of good ones. But there's also, you know, like, not so good. And just because it's cheap or just because on paper it kind of looks pretty good doesn't mean that's going to function. I mean, it is an easy choice for me to grab this tool over this tool to actually go do work. I mean, and so, yeah, really make sure and test your stuff, you know, before you just throw it in a go bag and trust it or go out on a camping trip. You know, really take it for a spin and see if it really works for you. So, yeah, till next time, I invite you guys to subscribe if you haven't, check out the other video, and always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.